Gotta get it right. Gotta get it right out there, boy. Can't have my side. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Mike Job. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Mike J Lifestylez with another video. You know what I'm saying? Hope y'all doing well, staying blessed. Here to hit y'all with another banger. Today we're reacting to some crazy things that happen on regular show. You know what I'm saying? If you are a fan of regular show and Cartoon Network in general, it's sad for me to say that they are discontinued on your cable box. If you still use cable, DirecTV, Xfinity, all that, still use cable outside for sports and, you know, pay-per-view things, you know, it's Cartoon Network. Apparently they're not making new episodes of certain things on cable, but that's neither here nor there. Cartoon Network is greater than any other network in the, I'll say, the big three out of the big three. The big three is Disney, Nickelodeon, and Cartoon Network. And you might think I might put Disney first because of just the way the order I went. Actually, Disney's like second. You want to just put them in like the, you know what I'm saying? I'm putting this as a whole. I'm categorizing them as a whole network. Cartoons, sitcoms, movies, all of that. I'm putting Cartoon Network above all of that because it just hits for me. It hit different for me. You know what I'm saying? They get everything I need. I got all the, what's it, comedy, like all the comedic, dramatic relief. I mean, not dramatic, drama. You feel me? Mystery, scary, spooky. And I got, you know, alternatives. As soon as it hit 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 7 o'clock, Adult Swim. As soon as it hit 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, they still playing Disney or Nickelodeon on those channels. Or they're playing Nick at Night. You know, they had Kenan and Kel. They had a couple bangers, Degrassi. You know what I'm saying? With Disney, they didn't have no at night. They just had more movies, more kiddie thing. Disney Junior, if anything. And did you watch Disney Junior? Oh yeah, you look like you watch Handy Man. Yeah, JoJo Circus. Yeah, I think Doodlebop. I see you. Nonetheless, I'm over here. I'm tailgating, bro. Wait a minute. Bro, my screen just went off on me, boy. Don't do that. We get in my spot so we can get a show on the road. You feel me? Yeah, feel me. Alright, we finna get this going. 3, 2, 1.
Looking back almost a decade later, it's really hard to say what regular show exactly was. The show at the start was a barrage of insane scenarios, often striking at monotonous times, hence the irony of the name regular show. And in the beginning it seemed the show's supporting cast, whether it was Benson or Margaret, served as plot devices in the lives of the two main characters, Mordecai and Rigby. But as the show went on, we saw a shift in that entire format. It was no longer just about Mordecai and Rigby slacking off, but instead it became an ensemble series about the family that these park co-workers became, and the adventures they went on together. It's really kind of sweet if you think about it. Not only did the characters' dynamics shift, but it became more plot-heavy and even more complicated story-wise as the show went on. Throughout its many-season run, regular show basically built up an entire lore. It's crazy. And that complicated plot gave way for even more complicated twists. And that's exactly what we're talking about today, because this show managed to have plenty of twists and turns throughout its 8-season run, including a movie. From Russian spies to the entire fourth wall of the show being broken, here are the best regular show plot twists. Thomas is a Russian spy. Seeing as this list is in no particular order, let's look at one of the biggest bombshell twists the series had to offer, the character of Thomas the Intern. Originally added as a way for the show to convey that Mordecai and Rigby were climbing the corporate ladder, so to speak, along with the writers all having shared internship experiences, Thomas the Intern first joined the park after a massive regular show special, Exit 9B. His role was minimal at first, usually serving as a punching bag for the others, as he was the smallest in the park food chain, which honestly is all too common for an internship position. But with enough time, he soon became an integral part of the park's operations, showing up in many episodes and just becoming a main character, which is why this twist was so shocking. See, Thomas wasn't always even meant to be a spy. That was something that was decided later, which means this twist has pretty much no grounds other than the fact that regular show is crazy and they wanted to make him a Russian spy. And I'm glad they did it, because this turned out to be one of the weirdest and most entertaining plot points the show could have possibly given us. It all began when Rigby noticed strange things happening with Thomas, like him literally fighting in a ninja suit at night, which, yeah, that's a little suspicious. I don't think he's cosplaying out there. He tries to tell the crew the next morning, but literally nobody believes him, which honestly honestly, why would they? Especially since every attempt to expose him only makes Thomas look more normal, like the incident with the laundry bag. But eventually the cover is blown, and they catch on when a literal CIA agent falls out of their cupboard. I don't know what Thomas's plan was here. I've never stuffed a person in a cupboard. I've never tried to hide a person either. I definitely would not start with the cupboard. This is when it all shifts, and the once timid intern, Thomas, is revealed to be Nicholas.
I have to pause it. If you don't learn anything from this, don't mess with the interns. Because what we doing, not even we, I'm just speaking as if I'm an intern. So what I'm doing when I'm off the property, don't worry about it, bro. Don't worry about it. You should have seen it on a resume. I do a lot of things. And what's on top of that list is standing on business.
A Russian spy. Honestly, it sounds like a regular show fanfiction, but in the best way. If you haven't seen this special, you need to. It gets absolutely over the top in a way that only regular show does. At one point, we see the president of both the US and Russia, a UN conference, and a final confrontation between Nicholas and the park crew over how legitimately bad they treated him as an intern. Russian spy escapades aside, this is kind of a moment that we've been building up to for a while, so it was really cathartic to see Thomas or Nicholas finally be able to air his grievances. The episode ends with the park getting saved just in time, and this is where we get Thomas's final moments in the show. Benson offers him a full-time job, but unfortunately, the intern turned international criminal is forced to go on the run, and he can't take the job position. In this economy, I feel for him. He literally runs off into the sunset, and that's the last we see of Thomas, or should I say Nicholas. Well, not really. I mean, he pops up in cameos a few more times, but you know what I mean. This was his exit from the show as a main character, and a main character he was. It's honestly pretty ballsy of them to just write him out of the main cast after adding him naturally over time. Still, this twist is beyond unexpected. It's just plain goofy, honestly. Despite that, though, I would say that it works. It's definitely entertaining. Of course, only in regular show would the timid intern really be an international Russian spy. That's just too perfect. Also, side note, way too many global events happen in this specific park, I swear to God.
Hey, Benson, could you tell me how the park electrical grid works again?
Sure.
Could you talk into the pepperoni?
The first thing you gotta know about...
The return of the Capicola gang. I don't even know where to begin with this twist. First and foremost, this was peak Mordecai arc. Love it or hate it, their will they won't they relationship was a huge part of the show. And that's why this episode is especially hard to watch, as it all takes place during...
I had to pause it again. You're watching regular show with like more of today's mindset. Looking at my whole room like that, like, bro, you ain't even gonna say nothing, boy. Your ass is loafing. It's like I said, I'm standing on business. Like I said, if you rewatch regular show from like as you're growing older as a person, you rewatch it from the beginning, you get to see like the things Margaret was doing, as well as Mordecai, how they were both just down bad. Not even down bad. Mordecai's down bad, and he's just not peeping the signs. And I only get mad because I see it, because it's you know, I'll be transparent. There's certain things that we do, regular people do in real life, everyday life. People do this in real life, and you know what I'm saying. You're supposed to catch it and just once you see that first sign, stop chasing. It's not good to over chase a woman, bro. Especially if she's not, you know, if you could tell she's not focused on you, bro. Because she's not gonna even notice that you're chasing. She's not even focused on you, bro. So you just might as well lock in on those that actually care about you before you lose yourself chasing a bitch that don't even think to look at you, bro. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and get back to this, because this Mordecai gonna blow me, bro. Unpause.
A fancy date between the two. Sure, it's the classic sitcom trope of big event happening while the character is supposed to be on a date. Oh no, how is he gonna balance them both? But it totally works. The big event in question is a deal between Mordecai and a shifty counterfeiter, orchestrated by the literal FBI, because of course it is. But it turns out it wasn't just some anonymous counterfeiter, it was in fact the old Fun Zone animatronic from the Capicola gang. Thought to be dead, it turns out he's still alive and more terrifying than ever. In fact, he hatched this whole counterfeiting scheme.
This gave me Five Nights at Freddy vibes. They dropped this like right around when Five Nights at Freddy dropped.
This is the best twist, I feel, because it was legitimately so unexpected. The Capicola gang animatronics were such minor one-off villains. Sure, they were from a crazy episode, one of my favorites in fact, just because of the fact that there was a literal shootout between the two. And the fact that these were the specific villains they decided to bring back for a part 2 is so crazy in the best way. It also reiterates just how unexpected regular show can be. It really keeps you on your toes. You never know which one of its weird villains they're gonna bring back.
Oh my god.
This being the season finale, also
their villains just always was hilarious.
Plus, this episode had actual guns in it, like they really did that. I just would love to hear the conversation.
People were dying.
Bring back the end.
I had to pause it again. I'm sorry, bro. Like, this is on Cartoon Network. People are dying. People are getting shot, killed. Regular show. Shot, kill, death. Comedic relief. Happiness, simping. You know, spoiling. Lavish living. All here in regular show. You know what I'm saying? You get it all in one. That's just one of the shows. They have thousands of shows. Literally. And they can do this all in 10 minutes. 10 of them things. 2 files. Like, bro, come on now. I'm paused.
Chronic gangster. We simply could not resist leaving it off this list.
School is overrated. I didn't go to school, and look at me. Nobody talks that way about college education in my restaurant.
Pops is the chosen one. Look, Pops is the most lovable and iconic regular show character. I don't care what you say or think, it's true. He's almost the mascot of the show, he's so recognizable. And his voice is beyond iconic.
I adore rock, paper, scissors.
His laugh is very contagious.
I come from, we call it quartz parchment shears.
You either have or know somebody who's tried to do a Pops impression
how many
at some
times
point
to
in
laugh
life.
this?
It's undeniable. I would do one right now, but I have self-respect.
I definitely did one 2 seconds ago.
And kudos to Regular Show, because they developed him from the weird old guy to the adopted son of Mr. Mallard, and eventually the literal chosen one, embodiment of all good. You gotta love
Look
this
like,
shit. Of course, this all happened during Regular Show's insane final season.
I like chocolate milk.
An epic space send-off that had
like.
plenty of
Like chocolate
turns
milk.
in its own
That's what I
right.
seen.
Them
I seen
being
that
launched
picture
into
as well.
space is arguably a twist of its own. But the biggest twist of the season had to be Pops' character being the literal chosen embodiment of everything good. But as much as this was a crazy twist, it also makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's literally Pops. He literally says jolly good show. It doesn't get
Jolly good
that
show.
in terms of
He
good.
gives
Now,
Pops pays people in lollipops. Like, come on now, I'm
We're
sorry.
already going through a weird situation with anti-Pops, but in the second to last episode, we learned the truth about who Pops really is. His real name is not Pops, it's Megacranus, which is as weird as it sounds.
Pause.
Pops is the quote
creation
of the universe, a creation so perfect that when he was created, the universe was forced to balance itself out, hence anti-Pops. It's a whole good versus evil situation. Keep in mind this lore was all delivered by the other failed iterations of Pops. I swear this is Pops from that pilot video that JG Quintel did, but I can't confirm it. That's when it's revealed that the entire Park gang were predestined to take part in an epic fight of good versus evil, with Pops.
See, I haven't rewatched this whole thing, so they low-key
fought
spoiling stuff for me.
before going back billions of years. This
I'm gonna
news
forget though,
changes
as soon as
Pops'
this
entire
go off.
character and is sadly
Especially when
the
we're watching.
beginning of the tragic end. Despite the Park gang trying their best, Pop ends it once and for all by sacrificing them both. And this is the part where it's okay to cry. I definitely do. Look, Regular Show is all about taking regular things and blowing them into dramatic proportions. And that's exactly what they did with Pops. Goofy, eccentric old man turns out to be the literal physical embodiment of all good in the world and the universe's most perfect creation. Plus, it created a pretty solid final battle storyline for the entire show.
Yeah.
As one off as Regular
It
Show
definitely
was,
was his
this was
own
pretty much the
endgame
best way
version.
to put a tight little narrative bow on the entire show.
Yeah,
and it made
I'm
it
a
really
cry.
seem like the
I'll
show
rewatch
was
this
building
out,
up to
cry. I ain't gonna lie.
something. In this case, one final battle good versus evil. But if you were to say
Makes
you
me
saw
go
this
cool,
coming
yeah.
from season 1, you're definitely lying.
I know you're sad, but I promise this is a happy ending. Take care of each other. Goodbye.
Rigby forges Mordecai's college rejection letter. This is one of the saddest twists in the series, as it ultimately shows us that the entire show is built on a lie. This all happens in the Regular Show movie, which if you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth a watch, in which Mordecai and Rigby's relationship and friendship was at the center of the film. And what way to showcase their early relationship than with time travel, which is basically the main plot device of the film. I'm glad they did it this way because it lets us look at the origin of Mordecai and Rigby and even their sad future. The whole thing kicks off when Rigby comes from the future so that they can make sure it never happens by changing the past. It's a whole thing, time travel is confusing, but the big twist is revealed near the end of the movie. That twist being basically the whole reason that Mordecai and Rigby are working their dead-end park job is because they didn't go to college, because neither of them got in. But that's not the case as it turns out. We found out that Mordecai did in fact get into college, something he never got to know because Rigby interfered with his entrance letter after discovering that he himself didn't get in. He basically lied to Mordecai and tricked him into thinking he wasn't accepted. Their entire relationship, the focus of the entire show, this
I don't
job,
know. I
is
think I
built
lied. I think I
on
figured that.
on Rigby
I
ruining
knew
the
that.
future of his best friend. It's hard to have a bigger twist than that, honestly. This is
I
extra
believe
sad
it's a
because
future
it
where he went
taints
to
all the
college.
adventures the two had over the years. Now we know that this wasn't Mordecai's set path, but instead, he was thrown off his path in life, all because his best friend was being selfish and scared of them growing apart. Not to mention the fact that Rigby looks legitimately horrible. This is pretty irredeemable for him. I mean, there's white lies, and then there's destroying your friend's entire future. They eventually patch it up, and Rigby even gets redeemed. But this is still a revelation that changes the entire fabric of the show, and a twist that I did not see coming.
You're not my friend.
Talk about a twist that didn't see coming. He's killed Rigby over a broad.
Regular
He
Show
didn't
is
even know that
canonically
this
a
happened.
TV
He
show.
killed him over
Who doesn't
Margaret
love a good
without even
football
knowing
movie?
he did
And leave
that.
it to Regular Show to